Halstead. I'm here with a bit of randomness, and I'm here with Patrick Reinholz. And just going to ask him a little bit of a questions here. And so I've heard you've studied classical performance in the past, and I know this has changed like people's perception on music. Has it changed yours at all?
Studying classical music, it sort of shaped a lot of what I think about, and when I perform music, and then when I study music and kind of practice various things, because it's sort of how I was raised with the kind of the classical school of not only cello playing and music in general, but just sort of outlook on music and how form is put together. It pretty much raised in the classical world.
So it really hasn't changed your perception. You were just always
I was sort of just always there.
Grew up with it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And has your instrument of choice always been the cello? I know you play a lot of cello around.
In high school I used to play a lot of guitar because it was cool to be in rock bands in high school. So I played a lot of guitar. I do a lot with like effects pedals and things, and I have a setup that I sort of just perform effects pedals. Twisting knobs and various things, and lately I've been dabbling in like computer performance, and I also have started to play the accordion.
The accordion, really? How's that going?
It's going alright. I usually use it just kind of in ambient music. I put a lot of like space echo and reverb on it to make it just sound like a big texture.
Very cool, very cool. And two bands that you're involved with, Weather Duo and Lovely Socialite. How can someone go from two bands like that have completely different sounds? Like how do you do that? Like how do you go from one sound to another sound?
Well, it's sort of just kind of all being involved in that project when I'm sitting there doing that project. Like in the Weather Duo is sort of a free improvised setting for the most part, but we also have some composed pieces. So we kind of approach that more from sort of the avant-garde classical sort of side of things with composers we think about in that sort of realm. And then Lovely Socialite is sort of like a jazz rock band, so kind of approaching that from the different side of things and more of a kind of a fun, lot more beat groove oriented, and solos that kind of follow that form more often.
Do you compose most of the music, or do you guys compose as a group with
some are done as a group, some are done as individuals. Most people in Lovely Socialite have composed for that group, and then the Weather Duo is somewhat composed, and we both work on that, and then also just improvise. We kind of put that together on the spot.
All right, and I know that you moved to Milwaukee not too long ago, and the music scene around here in Madison seems to be like close knit, Is it the same kind of vibe you get in Milwaukee?
I think so for the most part. It was it's sort of been a tough bit of a transition because I was so involved in the music scene here in Madison, and I knew everyone and I knew all the venues, and was involved with far too many bands to keep tabs on all of them. And then after moving to Milwaukee, I found myself rather busy with being a music teacher. That I only have time for a couple of things here and there. So I've gotten to know a few people, and because Milwaukee is so close to Madison, a lot of things kind of carry over. But there are definitely new people to meet, and new places to learn about, and things like that.
And do you have like a certain venue you normally play at in Milwaukee, or?
I've played a few different places in Milwaukee. There's a lot of very similar venues in Milwaukee as to here. Some Milwaukee venues are like the River West Public House and the Sugar Maple, bar things like Frank's Power Plant. They all sort of have parallels and similarities to places in Madison.
Okay. All right, this is RJ here with a bit of randomness, here with Patrick Reinholz, the true manipulator of the cello. Thank you.